What's up, guys? It's Thomas Redmond, and this is my song biography video for Thou Art Gone Up on High by George Friedrich Handel. This is a aria from his Messiah, which is a two-part oratorio, which if y'all don't know what an oratorio is, which we just learned in Civ, during the time Lent, which is the preparation for, it's the time between Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday, where Jesus was in the desert for 40 days. It's a very serious time. Back in the, Renaissance and Baroque period, you had opera that came about, and that was outlawed during the time of Lent. So, as a compromise, that these musicians who would be otherwise not getting paid during that time of Lent, composers and librettists worked around that fact and created oratorio, which is very similar in the way that opera set up. There's only no costumes or like scenery. It's all based off music, really, and you have a narrator that does a lot of the explaining of the set and the scene that the plot's supposed to convey. So in my aria is one out of like 50 movements or numbers in his oratorio, and it's actually pretty lenient in who can sing this piece. It says for bass, soprano, or baritone, and even there's a soprano key. So, I mean, it's not like it's set for bass, but that's just what I'm doing. This piece was written, let's see what the year was. It was composed in 1741, and the librettist for this piece was Charles Jennens, and the libretto was entirely drawn from the Bible, so this is very liturgical, and the oratorio is also split up into two parts, one corresponding to the Advent, Christmas, the life of Jesus, and part two is more of Easter Ascension and the Pentecost. So this is in Act 2, or Part 2, so I'm talking more about the latter. And I don't really think there's much else to talk about besides the translation of what the lyrics, or the psalm that it's derived from, talk about. Which, just to remind y'all, I'll say the translation: Thou art gone up on high, thou hast led captivities captive, and received gifts from men, that the Lord God might dwell there. I think that's all of them. Anyway, it translates in the modern English Standard Version of the Bible to: You ascended on high, leading a host of captives in your train, and received gifts among men, even among the rebellious, that the Lord may dwell there. So take that for what it's worth. I think that's a pretty interesting summary of Jesus' ascension into heaven and what led as an aftermath from that chain of events. So it's a pretty important piece in the whole story of Jesus, and it also has some really nice music. And this is not a recitative. It's more of an aria style. I have a lot of melismas, and there's definitely more, I would say, melodic and some vocal like variations on a theme, I think, that starts off in the piece. So I've enjoyed it, and hope that that was enough information for y'all to get some sort of sense for the song's origins and what it means and when it was composed. It was a Baroque piece. If y'all missed that, I might have missed that. But yeah, George Friedrich Handel, pretty great composer, very famous for his oratorios. He's written a lot of stuff, very high Baroque, name y'all all recognize. So yeah, that's my song bio for this one. Enjoy the rest of my videos. Cut this off. Bye.